Boom, boom, boom. Should be maybe live now, as soon as my ad's over. Hopefully my internet's going to still be okay. I have noticed since they came and fixed it, it does seem like it's like not as good. So, but I did some stuff, so we'll see. Because last time during the last live, it got blurry in a few cases, but we'll see. What's up, Todd Turner? Someway Plumbing, Clint Co, Matt HMM. I'm halfway caught up. I was kind of reading before I hit start over there. See if I missed anybody else. Roy's in here. Let's see. Clint Co. I think that was it. So y'all were wanting to know about the drink. It's Premium Fitz's. This one's the Cardinal Cream, but it's made with cane sugar, extra fine. But it's Fitz Bottling Company, St. Louis, Missouri. So me and Miss Maintenance just went to St. Louis this last weekend, and this is one of their big things. Like they bottle this there and everything, all sorts of flavors. Like they're real known for their root beer, I guess. This one's called Cardinal Cream, which is basically like Big Red, but of course it's the St. Louis Cardinals, and they have cream soda, orange, grape. One of them I really liked was key lime pie. I don't think that's something they sell all the time. They just had it there. Peach one or something like that. So I ended up getting a variety case and bringing them home with me. What's up, Jonathan Green? New shirt. Yeah, these are some of those Spider tool not Spider tools. It's just Spider. I think there's a logo. Yeah. So I've got the shirt jacket that I bought during the wintertime. It's the same brand as that. And I really like the feel of them. And I went and got some logos, put on a couple of them. But only thing I wish that they made, I've got a long sleeve shirt that's like this, and I really like the material and everything in them. And I like the shirt jacket that I've got the most. It's long sleeve, but it's like lined on the inside, so it gets kind of hot. Like it's made for like fall, winter time. But the thing I like about the jacket is like all the buttons are like a snap button, so you can take it on and off real easy. I wish they made short sleeve shirts like this with those same kind of snaps that wasn't lined, because then like if I'm going somewhere and I always wear a t-shirt usually under my shirts. So then if I was going to get ready to do something nasty, it'd be a whole lot easier to take it on and off. But let's see. Justin Martin said, "Did you see my new tool bag setup?" I don't think so. What's up, Ben Riley? Did you send it to me or you got a video of it? See. Will you get the Knipex Step Cut XL cutters? Probably not. I don't deal with big cables all that often. Like the little ones do everything I need. I just ordered some of the bigger cobalt type cutters. I've got the small pair. I ordered a really big pair of those. I'm going to try them on closet shelving. I'm doing a bunch of wire shelving in some closets. I actually went to Lowe's and picked up a bunch of that today. I'm not going to be doing any time in the next little bit, but it's going to be in that Quadplex. I'm putting all the closet shelving in there. And so I bought me a pair of those thinking that those bigger ones might cut that, me not have to use anything else, but I'm going to try it. What's up, Sharush? What's up, Denny Fools? Spider is a snowboarding ski brand. Yeah, they mostly have winter stuff, but I said earlier in the year whenever I bought the long sleeve, they didn't really have any short sleeve like this, because I just like the material. It's like I imagine it's like a True Work shirt, but again, I've never tried a True Work shirt. They're not as breezy as a Columbia shirt. Like if you're going to work outside, like in the heat, I'd rather have like a Columbia shirt or some of those 32 degrees t-shirts, which is what I've got on underneath of here. But it's a whole lot nicer feel to it. Like seems like a nicer shirt. Snazzy. It's NFL draft night too, which is usually a pretty big night of the TV for me, but I'm going to give it up for you guys. But Miss Maintenance said that she'd come in every now and then in the chat and hook me up with, or you guys, if one of you's watching it, let me know who goes where type thing. I like the NFL draft. If you want shirts like that, you got to get area cowboy shirts that snap. Yeah. Yeah, there ain't very many shirts that have the snap buttons. It would be nice, though. I sent it to you through email. Oh, well, then I've got it. I just not picturing the... I've got a bunch of them in the last little bit. So I haven't looked at it, though. If you've sent it to me in the very last little bit, I still have to download it and stuff. I've got it, and I just kind of glance at them. But I try not to look at them too much before I actually film it, because I kind of want to look at it for the first time, the same as what y'all are, even though in the series premiere when we're watching together, I've obviously already seen it because I filmed it, but I try to just go into it looking at it for the first time. That way, if I'm going to guess, I haven't sit there and thought about it for a long time. If I'm doing something nasty, I can get it on or off easy because of the snaps. Yeah. Yeah, so let me see. I got some pictures on here. Matt, I saw Matt in the pregame was talking about his stuff at his work, and he was showing me that this was the countertop that somebody did. You know, they basically put a kitchen countertop on a vanity so it overhangs a bunch. But I got some other stuff I'm going to do. Let's see. So there's all the toilets or the tubs that he's talking about. So Matt HMM sent me these. So he sent me several of these, but this one's not even the worst one of how far off center like the valve and the spout are compared to the I didn't download the Diamondback pouches. I've got them on my phone, but I don't have them on my iPad. So St. Louis, let me find the St. Louis pictures. So yeah, so me and Miss Maintenance, we went to St. Louis, went to see the arch. That's us inside the little pod thing that you go up to the arch. Let's see, that's for later. Let me make sure. So let me find. Oh, I know I got a picture of the Coke place somewhere, I thought. I could have swore I had two pictures on here of... Let me go to my photos. Maybe I didn't send them over. I thought I did. I thought I had a picture of the drink place, but I must not have put it on my iPad. I've got it on my phone. So one place that the St. Louis is really known for is this Ted Drew's. It's a custard place, and I got a banana split there. That's what I got there. So, but I had some other pictures that I thought I put on here, and I didn't put on here. One of them was that drink place. So we went to St. Louis Friday and Saturday. I don't know if any of you have ever been there. Pretty neat stuff. Most of the stuff's pretty much free, like any kind of that, going to museums, the zoo, all that kind of stuff like that. It's not a bad place to visit. Get back into the chat. The Step Cut XL cut me 12.2 and 12.3 like nothing. True Work shirts are medium weight. Yeah, I did buy a pair of True Work pants one time, I think, and I got the wrong size, so I sent them back because I didn't really know what size to get. So I never really wore them, and I never did order another pair. But I've never tried any of their shirts. Got a roof job in Alabama. I cut a big pine tree down, went right through my carport. Did you film that? You can get a lot of views if you film that, old school. Anytime you're using a chainsaw, you gotta always have somebody filming it because something exciting could happen. Ton of stuff available to me locally at Columbia. It's just 12 minutes away. A lot of times you can get good deals if you just search Columbia PFG Vented or something like that on eBay and put in your size. You'll find all sorts of Columbia shirts. Now they might have like a logo of somebody else's on there, but like I used to buy them for like $6-7 a piece on there because I'm gonna work in them anyway. So like I don't wear them like around like customers or whatever. If I'm just working out somewhere on a job site, I don't care because I'm just gonna get them nasty. What's up, Woodchuck? Mike Bergson, Contreras. I think Jamie True's in here too. It was take your kids to work day. Old School's got good insurance, though. That's good. Appreciate that, Sarush. Ted Drew's famous for custard and for selling Christmas trees. Yeah, it was pretty good. I got the banana split. My son got the. It's basically I can't remember. It's basically the Ted Drew's flavor, but it was called something else. But it's like oatmeal cookie mixed in with ice cream. And then Miss Maintenance got like a cherry chocolate something or other. Great place to raise kids until you need to send them to school. Missed my house by 10 foot. Do you ever do excavation? The house that Hope built asked. No, I probably never would. It's too expensive to get into that kind of equipment. I've done like a little bit of stuff like for the place that I worked at before, rented equipment and done it, but I probably would never do it for a customer just because it's such an ordeal to get equipment dropped off. It's so expensive to rent it and then all that. It's very hard to get somebody to want to pay for it anyway. So it's not something I'd probably get into. The whole logistics of it. And then you get the weather playing into it. Like I said before, I typically try to do almost 100% interior work if at all possible, just because being by myself with no other workers, if I get behind, it's a haul to get myself out of that. So you add weather into your jobs, that totally throws you into a loop sometimes and gets you behind. So I try not to even take on anything where something could drastically change my day every single time and then put me behind the 8 ball for weeks on out. Driving a site truck. North of St. Louis, go there now and then. Backwoods. Had a tree taken down. The climber had fun on one branch that broke while he was hooking up a crane. He was up about 60 feet. I told him when he came down, that's why I paid you. So I paid this one guy one time at the place that I worked at. And he came out and he was the type that like they didn't have a bucket truck. They didn't have any. I mean, this was a big old tree. I'm talking about big old tree. And that guy just climbed up and inside of it, did the whole thing, climbing up and down through it, cutting it off a little bit at a time, took that whole tree down. I kept hold of a chainsaw. I once got knocked off a ladder by a tethered limb. Yeah, if you ain't careful, if you don't position yourself right. I know a guy one time that was actually on a limb and cut the limb. He was standing on the limb that he was cutting and ended up falling and breaking some ribs. And he basically cut the limb he was standing on and fell out of the tree. But it's just sometimes you get to going. I mean, all you guys know, if you're anything like me and if you're not always conscious of what you're doing and you just start going into bull in a china shop mode, just start going at it. You don't pay attention to stuff. I mean, you say that seems crazy that somebody's going to cut a limb that they're standing on. But if you're just cutting limbs like crazy, next thing you know, you see all this one. I mean, I ain't going to say I would do it, but I'm saying I get it. Have you ever operated a forklift? I used to all the time. I worked in factories for a long time. Even one of my first jobs was working at a school supply warehouse. And that's basically what I did there was drive around and get down pallets of construction paper and folders and glue sticks and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've drove a forklift a lot in my lifetime. I don't really do it that much anymore. 90-foot maple. Always have a water key with you. Demo always leads to trouble. I try to avoid operating a saw from a ladder if at all possible for that reason. Yeah, you got to be careful. Like, if it swings down, and I mean, you've probably seen a million videos on YouTube. They're kind of funny. Anytime you watch any of those fail videos, fail army or whatever it is or something like that, there's always a chainsaw thing mixed in there somewhere. I got myself, I was doing some demo. Let me see. So I got myself another, I'll get y'all's opinion on it. I went ahead and snagged it because I don't really need it right now. I don't know if it'll get in the picture. Let me see where the picture's at on there. Yeah, I'll probably be able to see it. Hopefully I can roll it over. This one's pretty heavy duty, so I went ahead and got it and kept it loaded in my truck. But let's see if it's on there. It's gonna take a minute for the delay to kick off. Sounds big. So I got another lateral file cabinet from a job site for free. I got to flip it over. This one's kind of locked shut. I might have to flip it over so I can get this one open. But you can't see it all the way, but there's two let's see if I can get it down there. I wish there wasn't such a big delay. Yeah. So I got two of them that I'll figure out something. I went ahead and got it. I don't have any room for it in here right now, but once I add on to here, I'll have more room for more stuff like that. So it's a pretty heavy duty one. Now I just got to decide if I'm going to paint it. I don't like the color of it, so I'll either paint it Milwaukee red or black. Probably do black. That way it won't show dirt. And I might actually, I've just got it on a 4-wheel dolly cart from Harbor Freight right now, just so I can move it around till I do something with it. But I may actually even just put casters on it. File that, I'm fun. Grandpa, had a sign like you have on your TV. It said measure once and cuss twice. Those file cabinets are crazy expensive. Wrap it with car wrap. Yeah, you could do that, I guess. You could do like the wrap on it. I'll probably end up just spray painting it. I might even spray paint it the gray color as my other ones are. You can kind of see the edge of one over there. But it's probably going to go. I said I may, after I had it like that, I don't know, I may put a top on it, and I wouldn't mind if I could find me another one. I wish they had two of them. If they had two of them, I would have probably put them back to back and screwed them together and then put casters on it and then put a top on it and made it like a rolling workbench, and then move this toolbox that you guys or that my iPad's on into the new area. What's up, Sam Lee? Yeah, Beaver contacted me. I've got my uncle's got an auger, or my wife's Miss Maintenance's uncle has an auger for a tractor. So I'm getting close on the Quadplex to where I'm thinking about going ahead and ordering my post and all that stuff. I just didn't want to get it here. I'm pretty busy right now. I didn't want to get it here and have it sitting around for a long time. But I asked him Sunday if he had an auger for his tractor, if he'd come up here and drill holes for me. And he said he would. But I also, Beaver had contacted me, want me to try out a magnetic drill press, like one of those that's a magnet and you stick it on whatever and you can drill. But I don't have a use for it, and I didn't really want it sitting around here. But I said I am going to be doing a job here in the next little bit on my own building where I'm going to be augering out a bunch of holes, and you've got one that does 10 inches. I said I wouldn't mind trying that, but they said they didn't have enough of them to send me one. So I'm also going to be giving away something tonight, which I'm not going to be giving it away. I'm just going to be the middleman of the giveaway. But one of you that's in the chat right now is going to give something away from Veto, and then we'll see who wins. So you have to wait for that. I'll go ahead and throw that out there. We'll do that at some point in time. What's up, Killtronics? Still do a top on it, make it an island on it. Well, I thought about too, I could build something that's just shelves on the back side of it. That may end up what I end up doing with it is just basically build something the same exact size, even make a platform to set that on and have shelf on the other side, and then put a top on it just to make it basically the same size as what I've got right here, and maybe move this toolbox, which I don't know once I get done, I may end up totally reconfiguring everything, but I don't think I'm going to move too much stuff that's in here though, because it's all pretty well. Everything that's in here is stuff that goes to my truck for the most part, back and forth. So I want it by this garage door. I think everything that's going to go in the new section, and I've even been toying with, I don't even know that I may not even add on in a way that this is tied into that one, because I really need a thing for my enclosed trailer, but I don't know. I'm still back and forth. No matter what, I'm building it the same size and doing what I'm going to do with the roof and all that. I haven't finalized what I'm going to actually do yet. Give it away now. Great. I got to stay to the end now. Not 2 minutes shy. Railer only got it through. Y'all talking about anyone have trouble with orders from Railer? Ordered a bunch of stuff. Nothing yet. Won't even answer their phone. I haven't had any problems. I've got stuff sent to me from them, but I've also bought. But I'm like Matt. I've only bought it on Amazon. I don't know if you bought it from their website or not. I haven't had any problem through Amazon. I don't think I've bought anything through their website. You went direct. Yeah, because there for a while, some of their stuff they only had on their website, certain things. But I've only actually bought stuff from Amazon. It has warmed up here where I'm at in the last week or so. It's supposed to get up it's been up close to 80 in the 80s, but it's supposed to get up mid to high 80s next week. Yeah, it's really frustrating, especially if they don't email you back. When I got shorted on Amazon, Railer reached out directly and made it right. So Todd, you might go to the Amazon customer thing and like send something to them there, which would be weird that they would answer that before they'd answer it to their own direct email and stuff on their website. I don't think I had anything else specific that I didn't have any like questions that I needed to answer that I wasn't able to answer just by words. I don't think, or if I did, I forgot about it, but I don't have anything that I need to bring out and answer directly. I think the draft started at 6, but I don't know if that was like the pre-game of the draft. I don't know when the first pick actually takes place, but y'all have to keep me posted on that if any of y'all are watching that. So anybody get any new tools this week? I've got 2 things that I've got to make a video with for. They're nothing crazy, but I might actually do I've got 2 or 3 things where I could do a tool haul, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or just do videos. And then I did talk to a company today that's going to send me like a bigger portable power station, and it's supposed to be able to run my table saw. And then of course I kind of want one just for backup here to run my refrigerator and stuff like that. So we'll see if I end up getting that. Haven't watched the National Film Leagues in a while now. My loops on my rails always break. Mac got the M12 pin nailer. I love that. I use it a lot. pretty much all my shoe mold and quarter round. I go ahead and paint it now and just put it on with those pin nails and just put more pin nails in it. But then you don't have to really go back and putty holes and stuff like that. But even just temporary stuff, just holding stuff up just for a little amount of time, that makes it easy to pull it back on and off. I mean, I find a lot of uses for that M12 pin nail. I really like it. I didn't ever use a pin nail that much on a job site that often because I never had a battery powered one, and all my other nail guns were battery powered and I wasn't going to drag one out. So typically I just use a brad nailer and then have to putty holes, but the pin nailer is nice. Cody got some PB Swiss drivers and a Knipex 6.5 spring diagonal cutters Monday. Nice. Have I ever used the tone ratchets? No. Just got a 3/8 and a 1/4 inch body, Aaron McCollum said. I also saw Icon had some kind of new. I got an email from Harbor Freight that Icon's got some G2 ratchets or something like that. I don't know anybody know? I didn't read it, and I'm not real big on checking up on the specs on Icon stuff or anything like that. So I don't know what the difference is between the G2 Icon ratchets and their other ones. I don't know if anybody knows the difference on that. Got one of the Milwaukee 2108 battery magnetic rover lights you talked about. 300 lumen, pretty handy little light. 2108. Is that a 300 lumen? Is that the M12 one? Oh, or is that the real flat one? I don't know the 2108. I'd have to look it up. Is that the rover light like takes the M12 battery or the M18, or is it the flat pack USB type one, the one that's real flat? Oh, he likes battery. Oh, so it just takes batteries. 2108. I'd have to look up that number. I'm sure I know what one you're talking about. I just don't know that number off the top of my head. Finally bought a bag, but got it on Reddit on discount, Steve said. What kind of bag did you get? And Cody said DRPD's running a sale on PB Swiss right now. Only number on it? No, it's round and a battery. Round and a AA battery. 2108. I don't think it's this one. I'm going to have to look it up. 2108. I'm going to look it up real fast. This is going to bug me. Milwaukee 2108. Oh, yeah. That's, I think I got some. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's a really good light. Yeah, this pretty much used to be the only light I ran for a long time, and it's still really good. I keep one of these in my house bag, and then I've got them out here. I got one in my truck. I still leave one in my truck, but they're pretty nice. I like that you can turn this. You can, like, if you put it in a sink, under a sink or something like that, like you can kind of change this clip to make it set at a different angle to get your light to kind of direct itself, and then that magnet's pretty good. So yeah, that's a good light. No, I'm not. I'm at the beginning of my live on my. I don't have the chat open. Let me go back to YouTube. The bear reviewed them and said they were great, which was to be expected. I'll wait till they go on sale. So that's those G2 ratchets. Speaking of Harbor Freight, I picked up the Icon inspection light. Pretty darn nice, Jonathan Green said. And Steve got the Veto MB5B infrared for $230. That's a pretty good deal on that. flip the light on that icon light, it's way better. My Klein 51A arrived today. Yeah, I wish they had one that was just a hair smaller than this, like because the clips are nice, because it's pretty fast to clip it on and off. But again, the purpose, this is actually made to hold like big bolts and stuff like that. That's what they make it for. Like I said, I think it would be a real good fit for people on scissor lifts and stuff like that, to be able to strap it around the railings and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I wish they had one that was just a smidge smaller, you know, just a little bit. I always get distracted right at the start. I don't like the 2108. The magnet's better on the 2114. Now you're going to make me look up 2114. I don't know what 2114 is. It's a bullpen bag for iron workers. Yeah, it's actually made to hold pretty heavy duty stuff. Milwaukee 2114. I've gotten to where I pretty much have been using my M18 Rover light, or like just a small pocket flashlight. But as far as the light that comes out of my truck, almost for most jobs, okay, yeah, that's the 211. I bought this one too. I think I did a review for that one, but make the picture bigger. Come on. I hate websites that won't let you zoom in on the picture. So that's the 2114 right there. I had that light too. I actually bought that one. That was kind of the first Milwaukee light that was a little bit like my Bosch light that I don't have out here at the moment. So I thought whenever I got that was going to be the fix for me missing my Bosch light all the time, because that was about the time where I was starting to transition from Bosch 12 volt over to Milwaukee 12 volt. I got the same light, Morgan, but I wish I bought the one that runs on small Milwaukee batteries, not AA's. I used to be only a like change out batteries and lights guy, and I still like to have some lights that are like that, which some of these lights now you can do either or. You can they've got rechargeable batteries built into them, and you can recharge them, or you can take those batteries out if they're dead and put in while you charge it, you can put in just regular AA or AAA or whatever. That's a pretty nice option in my opinion, because I never liked running the rechargeable ones, but of course that was back before I had 17 flashlights in my truck. But you know, if you're only going to run one in your pocket and you don't pay attention to when it's getting close to being dead, and then sure enough you're using it and it's going to die, and it's like, well, who wants to go charge it and wait to work? It's like, I always like just being able to just change my batteries out. But again, the rechargeable stuff is nice, just because you don't have to keep buying batteries and stuff all the time. But I think it's good to have at least one that you can, whether it's a rechargeable one where you can change the battery to a regular battery, or just one that runs on batteries just for, hey, I got to go do this job right now and I don't have time to sit here and charge something. Make you earn it tonight. Have any inserts in any of your packouts or storage drawers? None that were like that I bought or anything. I've made some out of foam just for certain things. My Klein tracer, I just took some foam and put in there and traced it out and got that in there. And then my Bosch 3-plane laser. Yeah, like I don't necessarily go like I don't do stuff where every single thing is in foam, but if I've got something that's too big to fit in something, like I just cut a piece of foam and then I put my laser in there just to keep it from moving around. But then everything else, if I can get it to fit in there without foam, like I don't care that stuff is like in foam 100% or anything. I don't want to actually sit there and mess with putting it in and out in the same, because I can fit more stuff in here without foam in there, just because I can kind of stack stuff around, stick stuff inside of stuff. So I don't do a lot of 100% stuff, but stuff that I don't like moving around, like a testing equipment and stuff like that. That's why I went ahead and did my Klein tracer that way, just so they weren't banging around on each other. Farm and Fleet gave Todd a free battery. I just switched from DeWalt 20 volt unspeakable man to Milwaukee M12, and I'm pretty sold, other than I hope Milwaukee shrinks the head of the impact. Yeah, the M12 and M18, there's not a drastic difference in the size of the tool itself. Like up in this area, let me see, let me move this over. Like this, it isn't really that much different than an M18. My M18 Surge is in my truck, but it's just this right here, and it's mostly the battery is the big difference. Like that's the main thing that makes it smaller. Other than that, the tools themselves aren't really that much drastically smaller. Like my M18 Surge and my M12 Surge are almost the same head on the top. Got to get me a laser ASAP, Sharu said. I've been using that Sigmund one since, and this is the first Sigmund one. So I did a Sigmund review a long time ago, and then I did another Sigmund review later when they sent me their newer model along with one that looks like a Coke can or whatever. And I gave that one away. So I'm still using the first one that was in the very first review, and I use that thing all the time, and it works great, and it's pretty cheap. So I'd recommend a Sigmund laser, like if you don't want to spend a bunch of money. The only thing about the cheap lasers online, like on Amazon and stuff, is the accessories. But you can buy better accessories. Like the Hoopar accessories are a lot better. So if you want one with better accessories and you don't want to buy them separate, like the Hoopar lasers come with a lot better accessories than the Sigmunds and the Dovo and any of those that I've tried. And they're still a good laser, but the Sigmund's the cheapest laser. And the nice thing about the Sigmund is how small it is. I like the small lights that will take any AA. TPG said. I did some work at a dog daycare in a holding stall in a room full of captive dogs. The barking still haunts me. Unspeakable said he's just a big fan of the DCF 850 because of the head. I haven't even seen in person a lot of those DeWalt drills because my Home Depot doesn't put out a lot of DeWalt stuff anymore, and I very rarely even go to the DeWalt section at Lowe's because, again, I'm not buying tools just to review them or to test them or anything. I'm only going to go buy a tool if I'm going to use it in my job, and so I don't really go to the DeWalt section. If they so happen to have some kind of tool that was weird in DeWalt that was on clearance, I'd think about it. Or like I bought the DeWalt oscillating tool and just bought an M18 battery adapter because it was I like the trigger on it instead of having just an on and off switch. And then I bought the DeWalt, so like this is a good example. You know, this is DeWalt, the Grabo, and it was on clearance for $149. Well, Milwaukee doesn't make anything like this, so I had to buy DeWalt. And I just got a, battery adapter so that it works with my M18 batteries. So I don't typically go look at drills and impacts and sawzalls and all that because I know I'm not going to buy one. So I haven't ever even looked at any of those in person. Just got the Milwaukee M12 Fuel Insider. Yeah, I haven't tried that either. And I haven't seen one of them in person either. My Home Depot doesn't carry them. I mean, I've seen them, not in person. So are the M12 Insider you have to have a certain socket for those. Like, is it just Milwaukee sockets? A certain ones only fit it. So like you can't put anything else type things in it. Mom, that is triggering me. I would almost give up on my triple hammer for the new DeWalt. The 850 needs to find a new home. I like the Insider, but you do have to use their sockets. So, yeah. Which, I mean, makes sense. It's not like it's a regular socket type deal. Do they have, at least, does the Insider at least have like a adapter you can stick in it and then use regular 3/8, quarter inch, whatever socket you want to on it? Like, does it have an adapter to go to like any other size socket? So basically be like, I don't know if I got one in here or not. Surely I do. Probably actually don't. Yeah. So like have a thing that you can put in the Insider that has like those on it to at least let you use regular sockets with it too. HVACKR said it does. So that's not too bad then. You know, if you can still use it as a regular ratchet, and then also if you had the Insider sockets and you could use them when you needed them. All right, so we're going to do a giveaway, and it's going to be TPG is going to be doing the giveaway. Again, I'm just the middleman, and he's going to be giving away, I'll show you, let me pull up some pictures. An $89.95 value. Let me come around here and make sure I've got it on here right, and I'm going to have to pull up and down. So TPG said he has an extra DP3, so cost you $90 on Amazon. Let me see. So TPG's that. In case you don't know who TPG is, he's the practical gadgeteer. So we just call him TPG. Or it depends on if you see his comments. It's this on videos. So he's got one brand new in the bag. He's also got another one, but he just did this to show you the pocket layout in case you haven't seen one. So he has an extra one. He was wanting to make sure it went to somebody basically within the subscribers and kind of the Morgan's maintenance community. And I told him the best bet for that is going to be like if we just do it during a live, because that's typically who's in here. So normally we have a question about me, but TPG's always in all the chats, pretty much in the comment section a lot whenever we talk about different things. And he has said something a few times that I know of. So I'm going to see if anybody knows the answer to this. Let me open up my screen again. So again, it's going to be whoever answers this question first. And then also the stipulations are you have to be a subscriber to Morgan's Maintenance. This is what he said. And then also it needs to be in the lower 48 just because shipping would be crazy. He was going to ship it to me and then just have me do a giveaway of it. But I said, well, why don't we just do it during a live, and then you can ship it directly to whoever wins it. And then that way you're not paying to ship it to me and then me paying to ship it to somebody else, you know, those kinds of things. So basically whoever gets this question right first, you'll email me your address if I don't already have it. And then if I don't have it, I'll come up with a way to find a comment somewhere and have you make a message. So it's the same way as I always do. And then I'll get your address to TPG, and then he's going to mail it to you. If that all makes sense. Anybody got any questions? Let me get this back open. So one thing that you'll want to do is, if you look on your live chat, you might have it under top messages. So you want to change your chat filter to all messages, because you might think that you might answer it before somebody else, but if you're on top messages, it might not be. You need to put on all messages so it's all in the right order. So let me double check and make sure. The best TPG is ETPG, yeah. So Wacky Waylon said, wait, a DP3. Yeah, he said he had an extra DP3 and he was wanting to give it to somebody. So pretty nice of him. So the question is, what does TPG eat for lunch every day? What does TPG eat for lunch every day? And I don't know if he eats it every day, but he pretty much said he eats it every day. He has answered this quite a few times. He's mentioned it quite a few times because he's talked about it whenever we've been eating. So we've got banana. Wacky said fresh out. Roy Phipps said Little Debbie. I don't think so. I don't think he eats Little Debbie's. Pimento sandwiches, woodchuck, good guess. Jonathan Green, ham sandwich, unspeakable, PB&J. Ben Riley, Debbie Snacks. Steve said food. There's already been a right answer, but Lockhammer said PBJ, Nutty Buddies, ham and cheese, cookies, PBJ, cookies. Sapara said tacos, chicken. Well, there's only one right answer so far. So there's one of you in there out of that mix that said it, and nobody else has said it. And that was Matt HMM. He said peanut butter and crackers. Anybody know more specifically what kind of peanut butter and crackers? But see, I've talked about how I love peanut butter multiple times on here. Like that, you can put peanut butter on anything. It's probably one of my favorite foods. Of course, you got the peanut butter cream pies, Little Debbie, Reese cups, all those kinds of things that I've talked about. And he said he eats peanut butter and crackers every day for lunch, but even more specifically, it's waste-free peanut butter and crackers. So that was the one question I could think of whenever I talked to him about it. We were emailing back and forth. I said I was either going to do it to where, and I left it up to him, I could have just mentioned it in this live and then said, hey, after this live is over, because you can't comment on the video like during the live. It won't let you put comments in. But after we're done, go comment on the video, hashtag TPGDP3, and then I'll do a random comment generator the next live. I said, or we can do it like I do sometimes, and I'll just ask a question. I said I could ask, like, what is it you eat for lunch every day, which I know the answer is peanut butter and crackers. And he said, yeah, that sounded good. So somebody said I'm a doctor, not a game show host. Cyclops said Skippy, peanut butter, and Ritz crackers. Well, it is peanut butter and crackers, but Matt HMM was the, as far as I can tell, unless I'm wrong with it, I think Matt HMM was the first one to say it up there. He said, let's see where it was again. Yeah, PB and crackers. So a lot of you are saying Ritz, Keebler, Jiffy, and Animal Crackers. So a lot of you kind of got in on it a little bit late, but Matt HMM's the first one. Let me look over here in my, I don't know what I got over here. I don't really have anything particular. Matt is the only one to get it right. The crackers are a generic Ritz from Aldi, but that wasn't any part of it. Yeah. Mike said, well deserved, Matt. HMM always feel better when a long-term subscriber wins. And that's kind of what TPG wanted. That's why I said I think it'd be better if we just do it during a live. He was wanting to go to somebody. I need to buy one of those delivery bags. They look sweet. I bought it. Well, I got it for free with the TPLD. And then now that I bought it mostly to use as a meter bag. But now that I got the MPMX, I knew I would never end up using it anyways. So I ended up selling mine. But they are a decent bag. Like, you can fit a lot of stuff on them. Let's see, what's your take on the Packout? Uh-oh, I got no connection showing up. Let me see if hopefully I'm good up here. We still filming on this? Yeah. So that's all right, I guess. I've got no connection showing up on my, there we go, just popped up. See, like right now, my Wi-Fi dropped out on my iPad, but I'm almost like that storm came through and it hit my modem router from my actual like company. And then I come out of that and go into a Google Mesh system. And then my one that was out here in the garage was dead. Like it must have got hurt too. So I replaced it, but I'm almost wondering if the one that's inside my house that's closest to my modem does have something going on with it. It's still working, but I don't think it's working right. I might have to replace it too. You're buffering, Joey. Kiltronic said, yeah, I think my Wi-Fi just went in and out because my Wi-Fi was off on my iPad too. So I think I still got some internet stuff going on, but I think I'm actually going to go ahead and call I've got a fiber company that came through my road about all through last year, but I was waiting for them they said they'd come around and let me know when they got done hooking it up everywhere. But I called them while my internet was messed up and they said it's ready and available. So I might actually change. I've got DSL right now, but I think they put a box in my yard, so it shouldn't take them that long to hook it up. So I think I'm going to go ahead and swap over to that fiber company instead of messing with trying to figure out what's going on with this one, because it might even still be something on their end that's messed up. How far is your garage from the house? It's decent ways, but I ran a line from my house to my garage, but it's not too far to where I should have any problem with that line. Basically, I didn't have any problems for a while until that storm hit my router and modem in there. And I think I replaced my mesh box out here, but I didn't replace the one inside, and I think it's working, but I also think it's like dropping out every so often. So I think there's something wrong with that box too. I need to probably replace it. Fiber is dang nice. It's the way to go. Yeah, and it's not going to really cost me that much more, and it's going to be quite a bit faster. It's supposed to be anyway. So yeah, I'm probably going to call them next week and get on the schedule. Whenever I called them whenever my internet was messed up because they weren't going to be able to come out for like a week to fix it. And they said it was about 10 to 15 days to get the fiber ran because they're going to have to do it underground here at my house. They said if it's overhead, it's faster, but at that time we had all that rain and flooding and they weren't going to get in anybody's yard. So, but I might call them next week and see, go ahead and get on the schedule anyways. You'd be surprised how long it takes them to install. We bring power to their cabinets, and one of their HRS said it was going to be a couple years until they started adding people to plans. Yeah, they finished probably last summer, and I knew I hadn't heard anything from them yet. So I was like, I bet they're still like going on down the road. Eventually going to tie it in at some point in time. But I called them just for giggles while I was down, while I didn't have internet, and just to see if maybe it was an option yet. And they acted like it was. Dumping rain here in Cincinnati. I bet it's pouring down in Kentucky. It was supposed to be, which I think it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, but it was supposed to be raining tonight. I was worried about tonight because they acted like it was going to get get quite a bit of rain tonight and stuff too. But whatever it did must have shifted. Maybe it went Cincinnati route instead of Kentucky route. Utility company told us it was a bad install, but it was their meter that wasn't working. What's your take? There we go. Somebody was asking that now. Kind of, what's your take on the Packout rolling chest with the slide out drawer going on pre-order for $250? Which my take is, I thought that thing was supposed to be out like in January, so I don't know what's went on with that. But if you are a person who rolls your stack around like all the time, then I would want that bottom drawer. Like, it would be game changing to not have to unstack all your stuff to get into that. Am I going to buy it now that I've got the Klein single drawer, and then I bought the adapter to go from Klein to Packout because mine stays in my truck all the time. Now, I was going to go ahead and buy the Milwaukee one because I was using the Milwaukee, the old rolling cart, and then I have it in my truck, and I keep tools in it, and I'd have to unstack my vacuum, unstack my drywall tools to get to those tools, which they were kind of like not used tools for me. That way I didn't have to get in there that often. But now I've just open and close and then still use those things. So I'm set without it. So I probably won't buy one like when it first comes out. Later on down the road, I might. I don't know if I will or not because I don't ever use a rolling cart that often to get into my job sites or to go to jobs or anything like that. Very rare. And in that case, I don't care back at that one or a few times with the cart that I've got. In fact, right now, if I'm only going to go into a job and I'm going to just take my tool bag and my tools, I will put this Klein rolling box. Yeah, y'all can see that. I can see I'm starting to buffer some again, but I'll put that in my truck and just use it by itself and not even stack Packout stuff on it. I'm not complaining. I demoed my backyard and seeded the grass. Talking about your internet is not good content, LOL. Miss Maintenance said. I had somebody comment on the last time that it was the live right after my internet finally came back on. I was talking about it, and that was a comment that somebody made, was talking about my internet's not good content. Once I put a lot of fiber in my diet, saw no change in my internet speeds. I see a lot of butthurt people on that price, which can be hard to swallow. Yeah, it's 250 is kind of high, and then especially like the Klein ones at one time were not even remotely close to that. It seems like they're not the same price as what they were when they first came out. But what was the Klein rolling box drawer? I mean, it was in the hundred and something, and then you could buy a plate. It's cheaper to buy the plate and the Klein box. And then the nice thing about the Klein box is you had two drawers in case you wanted two drawers. Now, you may just want one big drawer depending upon how you're going to use it. And I really like the Klein rolling box. The way the handle comes on and off is super easy. I really like that. Again, I've only got the oldest Milwaukee rolling box. I don't have the one that's the low profile or anything like that. So I don't know how much better that one is. I'm in the boonies, got fiber a little over a year ago. I got a friend within sight of the big city and they don't have fiber. You might have cable damage in the cable between. That could be the case too. Because it obviously affected the thing in my house and affected the thing that's out here in my garage. So it wouldn't surprise me. But I don't know that I'm going to run I'm planning on running a new cable when I do this garage, because I'm going to run some more power out here from my house too. So I'm probably going to just put it all in one ditch. But I'm not going to do that till I do that. This that I put in now, I kind of just dug with a shovel a little trench and put the wire in it, covered it up because I wanted to try it. I didn't want to go to town putting in, conduit and all that kind of stuff and see if it's going to make any kind of a difference whatsoever. But it's been pretty good up until that storm. I didn't have any buffering for a long time. Packout rarely goes on sale. Shocked when they had the buy more, save more last year. Yeah, they don't. It's very rare. They had the organizers on sale, and I bought 4 or 5 of them during that time where they were like $10 off. I think they were like on sale for $39 or something like that at one time instead of $49. Normally they put their fiber lines in conduit unless you're Xfinity, and then they bury it 6 inches. That's about what I did over here on mine, but I know where it's at because I put it there. and it was a temporary thing, so I wasn't going to dig it like crazy. Tough Build announcing their rolling drawer next week. Tube Sock said, "Is that a joke, or are you being serious?" Yeah, see, my Wi-Fi just went off on my iPad again. Now it's back on. So, and we've noticed even like EMS maintenance both have noticed in the house, like certain things just seem like they're not loading the same and all kinds of stuff. So I'm not even positive because the DSL guy said a bunch of stuff while he was here, and then he called and had him change something. So I'm not even positive because I had no problem. Whatever it was, he said they've got you provisioned or something like that. And he said, I don't even know how you've had service really all that well. And again, I didn't have any problems. And now whatever he did to fix it, for all I know, he's caused a problem. So, but I don't even think I'm going to mess with calling them and saying, hey, my internet's been dropping in and out. Is it something in settings, something that you guys have done, whatever? I'm just going to swap over to a different company and be done with them, I think. Jacob got the Klein rolling drawer and the 3-drawer box for like $260 around Christmas. Yeah, I think they were only like 140 or something like that. They were tons cheaper than the Milwaukee was going to be. Terry, have y'all talked about the new Hilti Pro Kit system? No, I haven't. I haven't even watched the video for it yet. I did get I don't remember who had the video, but I did get a notification about somebody having a video for it, or somebody might have. I know it was Abraham. I think it was Abraham Perez. He sent me a email about it. Cut a trench with a lawn edger. That's pretty much what I did with the. I just took a shovel and kind of stuck it in and folded it back just in a straight line and tucked it back in there and then pushed my grass back down. Chris said this may be a silly question, but do you get your router from your cable provider or do you own your own? So the cable provider gives us one. It's I actually went and bought one to try it whenever it was out because whenever it was down, they told me it was going to be a week before they could even come to look at it. The problem ended up being a short over in the box, the main box. He had to go across the street and he said there was a short. So he fixed it all then, but he replaced my router with another one that they gave me. Time to go fiber, man. Fiber line could be damaged. I heard he was. No new storage system. Anyone that gets into the game now, like all you've got the chance of getting for the most part is going to be new people like that haven't bought into it at all, because it would be very hard for anybody. I don't care what you come out with to make me swap from Packout just because I've got so much Packout. So that's the thing, that any company that comes out with a storage system now, you're behind the 8 ball to where everybody's already so invested in the stuff that they bought. It's very hard to swap. And like I said, the only thing about me is there's certain things in my truck. Like if someone came out with totally awesome drawers, because I've actually even thought about changing the drawers in the back of my truck with DeWalt ones, just because I like the way that those handles open and close, because they're never going to come out of my truck. Like they're not something I'm stacking in and out, taking in inside somewhere or anything like that. So once I put them in there, they're in there. So it wouldn't bother me to change out like those. I'm a person who actually takes the stuff in and out of my truck and van and stacks it on a cart and rolls it in and out. Like it's pretty hard to get somebody to change if they've already bought all their stuff, because it's not like it's cheap. Other Google mesh, because I've got one that's like the main router, and then my one in my garage comes off of it. I've got one in my living room that comes off of it, but I would almost bet everything else was damaged in there. I would almost bet that one got damaged too, and it's just so happened to still be kind of working. I guess I could do a test and just use I might do that, is just get rid of my mesh and just use the Wi-Fi on the modem provided by the company and then plug another router or plug this thing directly into that. I could do that, and then that way at least narrow it down for me. Or call the fiber people and just say, well, of course, if I get fiber and there's still something wrong with my Wi-Fi system, then it might be that too. But I'll have to do some stuff to try to figure it out. Uh-oh. My chat wasn't scrolling. Tough Built made a post about announcing their garage stuff today and mentioned they will announce their rolling box next week. Guess we'll see. I hadn't heard anything from Tough Built for a long time. That's why I asked you if it was a joke. I didn't know if they were still in the mix of making all those things that they promised or not. I installed a lot of coax with a shovel when I installed satellite TV. It's a good way to do it and not mess up the yard because you can just kind of make yourself a trench and tuck that wire in there and just smash the, grass back down. I mean, you get done, you don't even know where it is. We have Packout fever that won't break, or go tough stack and they may not be in business in a few years. Yeah. I won't change unless something happens to the ones I've got. Yeah, it's pretty much me. I mean, all my organizers, that's pretty much every one of them's Packout. So if I change, I've got to change all of them. And those are the things that I actually stack in and out of my truck. So I want them to stack. Like I said, the stuff that's permanent in my truck, if I found something that would work better, I wouldn't care to change those out. But I'm not changing any of those stuff that I'm actually taking in and out of my garage, in and out of my truck, in and out of a job site. I'm not changing. If Harbor Freight can't get a storage system to catch, no one will. Fiber sounds like you got some bathroom problems. If only Rigid would make a 3/4 and quarter drawer rolling box, I'd be happy since I'm in that system. Measure twice, cut once. And then it says real small underneath of it. It says measure twice, cut once, and then force it to fit. That's what you got to do. Max said he uses Packout for all his tools, uses Flex for all his car detailing stuff. The Flex are wider, so the crates are more helpful. Big drawer, small drawer. Yeah, the Makita stuff was pretty interesting. Like how you can kind of snap it in from any side. That's pretty innovative compared to the other ones. I did like that feature on those, but again, it's still not enough to make me change. But it was a nice thing because sometimes, depending upon how you want to load something up and all that kind of stuff, that would be a very helpful feature. The fact that you can snap it in from this side, even I think maybe you can even turn them the opposite direction sometimes. That was a pretty neat thing. Makita's made in the USA too, for what it's worth. But yeah, or TPG, I know I've got Matt's address, so and I don't have to have Matt do some kind of question weird post thing to make sure who he is, even though he has changed his little icon thing to where he looks different now. TPG's got your address. Okay, good. So I don't even have to get into that one then. Problem solved. So this week, working wise, I finished up that the small bathroom and all that stuff I showed you last week. But part of that was basically this is a commercial building with, I think it's got 7 tenant spaces, like office spaces. And the company that actually owns it, one of the spaces is where they run their business out of, but they also own businesses all over, like even in Tennessee and several other places. And we were moving them from one suite to another that fit them better now that somebody else had moved out. So I had to do a bunch of moving, and then taking apart like office desk and taking it from one floor to the next, and hospital beds and all kinds of stuff. So did that for a whole day, and then also had to go back and throw away stuff into a dumpster because we filled it up and they had to get another one. So I finished that today. And then there's a bunch of more stuff for that, like putting together office furniture. That's just turned into a bunch of little jobs that's made it be a decent sized job because it's a bunch of little stuff. So been working on that. Now I got to go patch some drywall and touch up paint and stuff like that. And then still working on the Quadplex. We're pretty much at the stage of waiting on some people to get their stuff, the painters to get another coat on so we can lay floor and put in baseboard. So all we really got left is flooring, baseboard, as far as for me. And then I got to put in all the door locks, all the little like peepholes, wall stops. Oh, what else is all in that? And then I got to do all the closet shelving, all the window blinds. I'm installing all those. The flooring's kind of the biggest job that's left, and the baseboard is quite a bit of baseboard, and it's like 1x6 baseboard, so it's a pretty good size baseboard. 1x6 is the kind that you can't really, manipulate that much if your floors aren't very good. But most of these floors, as I've been putting in the doors, they seem like they're going to be pretty good. So I don't think I might have a whole lot of problem with getting baseboard to fit tight to the floor, because most of my doors I didn't have to. I always measure both sides and see if I need to adjust one jamb before I install it and start nailing it off. And most of them are pretty good. Read your text later. Yeah, I won't. It won't come through till I've got the do not disturb thing on. So I'll check it out though. Breaking Free. Hello, Joe. Apartment maintenance couple here. Oh, you changed your name. Breaking Free. I'll have to remember that. That's going to be weird for me for a little bit. Hope you enjoyed your vacation. So they're close to St. Louis. I actually emailed them back and forth to ask them some good places to eat at, and I was telling them that I had went to the Fitz place and got a bunch of soda, which we just stopped in there and just got like some while we were walking down the street. And then I went back later before we came home and bought a case of them and put them in the truck, or put them in the car. But yeah, we had a pretty good time. It's pretty nice. It rained on us the last day we were there. But the last day we were there, we only planned on going up in the arch, and it didn't start raining until we were in the building. So it didn't really affect us that much. But the whole day before was really nice. Andrew Click, he said, I had my SPC fall over and 3 foot off a box as I was leaving a work site today into a nice pile of dirt. Got dirty, but only had 2 things fall out of the side pouch. Nice. I actually had mine fall out of my truck door today too, because I keep mine. I'll just show you real fast. I think I've got it. I might have to hide y'all while I put my code in. Oh, it was actually unlocked. Yeah, I keep mine right here. That's why I like this bag. That's kind of why I wanted it. It's like the perfect bag to just sit right here. But I had this door open and I was in the back of the truck getting a bunch of stuff out and moving stuff around, and I heard a big thump. So, but it had fell and hit that and hit that and hit that, but nothing came out of it. But I don't have anything really on the outside of my bag anyways. These are for a upcoming job, but yeah, you can see that almost just fell over right there. But I've also got it kind of slanted. So, but yeah, it fits perfect. My SBLD fit in there too, but it was pretty tight. So I ended up I could push my door shut basically, but it didn't like it. haven't got any draft update from the missus, so it must have been that the pre draft kicked off at 6 o'clock and not. Almost hit my TPXXL today. Don't cover my receptacles. I've almost got to the point of putting those pointy green drywall covers on my boxes. The painters we've got do a pretty good job. Matt S. been stuck doing residential service work lately. I can't wait to get back to more commercial work because I've been missing running EMT. Yeah, I like working in people's. I like working in offices as far as my remodel stuff and stuff like that. Now, service work, I kind of like doing residential stuff better, just because it's more laid back, like at somebody's house. Like today, I went and did a lady had a leak under her sink, and she called me and I said I could come this morning. So I stopped by there on my way to my other job, and it ended up being just some of that PVC from her garbage disposal to her where it ties into the other drain from the sink. It was a little bit, that pipe was cut a little bit too short, and she said that her garbage disposal had backed up and she plunged it and got it broke free, but then she noticed it was dripping. And after I took it apart, that piece had been really cut, probably. I mean, it was right there at it. So basically, any little movement whatsoever, it was going to pop out. And she said it had leaked there before. So I just replaced it and put in a new piece. But again, the whole time I was there, we were just talking, the whole time I was doing it and all that kind of stuff. So you get to where your customers, it's kind of like every time they call you to come to a job, it's like you're going to go see them again type thing. And just you're going to work while you're there and you're sitting there talking to them. So in that case, I like residential, but just because of that. But the work, typically, I like to work better in commercial stuff. How was the ride up the arch? I had a friend stuck in the elevator a few years back. Yeah, it went pretty easy. Pretty tight space. People were a lot smaller back when they built that thing. So there's 5 of you have to fit into it, and I mean you're like this for however long. It only takes a couple minutes, but it's pretty tight. Mike said, I totally forgot about Fitz's soda. The best one I had was the key lime pie one. I don't know if that's something they sell all the time. They had it out there, so I got one of those. And then I got a peach one. That's what I got. That's what I got the time we went in there and just got some cold and drunk them right then. And then the variety packs, kind of probably their staples. I think, again, it came with that Cardinal Red, which is like Big Red, cream soda, root beer, grape, and orange, I think is what was in there. Dad stories I'll show you. Did he put his coffee down? I'm drinking water tonight. I drank coffee right before I came out here, but it's kind of warm out here. Lance Anderson said, time for a field trip. Bending pipe is an art and definitely my favorite part of the trade. Yeah, and I don't do it that much. Really, I don't know if I'll ever probably do it anymore in the work that I'm in now. Because mostly anytime I'm doing any kind of electrical stuff now, it's not so much install stuff as it is somebody's just got a problem and I'm going and figuring out and fixing it, because just to the nature of my business being how it's structured versus it's different than whenever I work for somebody. I could do all kinds of stuff. But it was something I never did very often. I can do it, but it always took me, every time I'd get it out and start messing with it, it'd take me a little while to get the hang back of it again. But it is an art form to it. Yeah. There's some people that can make it do all kinds of, just get it exactly wrap around stuff and it looks so nice. And then some people, those bends and stuff, it really gets to you. You start having to, especially when you got to bend it one way and then bend it the other way, it can get really hard to keep it straight in your head. SPMC is top heavy. Mine's fallen over a time or two. Very frustrating. I knew it was going to be tippy, but I'm pretty much, it stays right there in my truck just like that. That's what I got it for. That's what I intended to use it for. And then I carry it there to inside a house, and that's it. And I usually just set it up against a cabinet or whatever. So I knew it. I wouldn't want to use that bag all the time, like carrying it around, setting it everywhere, and like 100% be my only bag probably. But it's really good for just a quick grab bag. 7 o'clock, Titans will take Cam Ward with the first pick. No shock there. 3D printed wide base for the SPMC. Not kidding, actually. Yeah, make you somehow or other make it to where you can snap it into a Packout slim organizer and then use your slim organizer as a base. If you drove to St. Louis, you were most likely about 20 miles from my house. Ski soda is big around here too. Yeah, so you can get ski around here quite a bit too. Not very many people drink it. A lot of people are Mountain Dew people or Mellow Yellow here, but I'd say probably the biggest Coke type drink, which we call them Cokes here, sodas, pop, whatever you call them. We call everything Coke here. Everything's Coke. But the probably the most one is probably, I see a lot of people get Dr. Pepper a lot, like whenever you're out somewhere. That's what a lot of people order. Where'd you get that shirt? Looks pro. So it's I got the shirt on Amazon. I bought this one. They've got like a tan colored one, and then they got a burgundy colored one. I put my logo on this one with the red and the white, and then I put my logo on the tan one with red and black on the instead of the white, just because I figured it'd show up better. And then the burgundy one, I didn't even put my logo on. I'm just gonna wear it like a shirt. But the because I didn't like how any of the colors was gonna look on that. But they're not crazy expensive, but they're super nice shirts. They're real flexible, like real stretchy. And the thing I like is they don't really have the vent stuff on the back like the Columbia ones. Sometimes I like the vent things as far as working in the shirt. I'd rather wear a Columbia shirt to work in, but as far as like wearing a shirt out, sometimes those things catch on stuff and all that kind of stuff. I don't like the look of it as much. So love the delay on comments. Oh yeah, I'm backed up again. I also took I haven't seen him in here, I don't think, but it was I ordered some. I don't have it yet, but I kind of ordered me a blackout edition of my patch so it won't be so blaring white right there. I'll see what they look like when they come in. Have anyone seen or used the new Crescent Tool Site Runner folding job site cart? It's real similar to the Hart one, but looks a little heavier duty build. I haven't. I've been using the, is it Hart or no, Hyper Tough one. I like it. Ski is the best in Tennessee. You got to make runs to Kentucky for my supply. I got 8 cans before I got to go back. Yeah, some drinks I always think are just everywhere, but that's like RC Cola was really big, like where I'm at, because it was pretty much the thing. It's all there was for a long time. And I think they actually, like, the town I work in was a big place where they bottled it and did all that kind of stuff. So any of the RC stuff, I really like. Big Red's one of my favorite drinks, probably. And then the one that I used to love when I was a kid, and I don't even know if they ever still make it or not, but and I don't know if it's Barks or Barges. I always called it Barges, but I don't know. I haven't never paid attention to what it actually says on it. But they've got a root beer, but they actually had a red cream soda, and it was way better than Big Red. But I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I don't know if they still make that or not. Ski is bottled west of me about 40 miles. Love me some Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper for the wins. TPG said Dr. Pepper reminds me of prune juice. No thanks. It does have a medicine taste to it if you think about it. Like if you just drink it all the time, you don't think about it. But if you drink it and think about it, like, hey, does this taste like medicine? And then you take a drink of it, you'll kind of get it. He's in the weeds. Clint said like and subscribe. Appreciate that, buddy. Where you get the patches made, I just get them on Amazon. You just upload a picture. So like, let me take this off. I probably got some loops up here. Let me see if I got some up here. Yeah. So this is all really like a printed thing here, and then they embroider around the outside of it. So you just upload a picture. But I've had these on my vest, on my bag. I've had no issues with them at all. And you can get them. So you select the option, like this is hook and loop. It comes like this, or you can get it with an iron-on backing on it, or you can get it to where you plan to sew it on something, and it's just whatever. You pick that. It just costs more for this than it does like a sew-on type or something like that. But this is 3x2 is what the size is on this, and you just upload your picture and they put it on there. I don't know how it's on there good, whatever it is. It's not like it's something that feels like it would scratch off. I don't know how they do it, but it seems like it works pretty good. But I get it on Amazon. I just sent somebody. I think I put a link to it in. I guess it was the video that's got this. No, it's been a video here recently, but I can send you a link too. But there's a bunch of different people. But if you search on Amazon custom patches or something like that, there'll be a bunch of them that come up. But these have been pretty good. One of those fine patches adorn my Diamondback vest, representing. Haven't seen RC Cola in years, Cyclops 214 said. Yeah, it's not really that prevalent in my main town, like the one I work in, like the bigger town. But the town I live in, which is kind of like Mayberry type thing almost, you can still get RC Cola at the stores. I haven't had one in forever, though. It used to be a big thing here to have an RC and a moon pie. You were really, really doing something if you was eating an RC or drinking an RC and eating a moon pie. I had a mango monster the other day. Very good. Yeah, I've had one of those. They only have, was it the zero one? Because they have a mango zero one, and then they got like a mango juice one that was pink that I got on accident thinking it was a zero, but it was actually really good. I hadn't had it before. Or no, it was called, I might have the box, the can in here. I don't know if I got it in here or not. I think I threw it away at a gas station though. Yeah. It was like a monster juice, and it was pink. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it's pretty good. I hadn't had any of them besides the zeros before. You remember Formula 44D cough medicine? That stuff was like drinking gasoline. Yeah, there was that. And then there was I remember whenever I was a kid, like I would actually fake like I was sick to be able to take this medicine. It was an orange flavored medicine, and it was like Trimedic or something like that, Triminic or something like that. And it was really good. Like it was like taking candy or something like that. Browns traded second pick to the Jaguars. Travis Hunter. So I bet they're gonna move back and they're gonna take Shadur Sanders is what they're gonna do. Nobody saw that coming, I don't think. Touch go. Regular mango one. It had a Day of the Dead style on it. Very good. I got moon pies, the huge ones at Georgia Tech in the late 70s, early 80s. They're okay. They're not something I like. Like the texture of it's really weird. I mean, they're not bad. I'm sure they were back when they first came out compared to maybe what was out at the time. They might have been crazy good, but the banana ones are okay. But I'm not a big fan of moon pies that much. Snaps fiber and sodas. How far are we falling? We'll see you, Wacky. If you're still in here to hear me say see, I think I'm caught up. Miss maintenance with the draft updates. Yeah, I like watching the NFL draft. I don't care that I don't care to watch it live, but I mean I like to know what's going on with it. I like to watch the football NFL football as far as the watching the games. I don't like I'm kind of like TPG. I don't like some of the stuff that they got themselves into for a couple years, but Debbie's changed the size with inflation to keep the same price point. Yeah, Little Debbie is far superior than I don't even know who makes moon pies. I don't think Little Debbie makes moon pies, but Little Debbie's are far superior product as far as taste compared to a moon pie. TPG Miss Maintenance said TPG. I knew the answer to the question, but I couldn't win. And she actually knew the waste free because I said if we're gonna ask a question, it could be what do you eat for lunch every day, and then she said waste free peanut butter and crackers. So Miss Maintenance knew the whole answer. Just so you know, Nutty Buddy has a new cake coming out. They look like Twinkies. I saw. I almost got a box for Miss Maintenance, but I didn't because they're like I was in Kroger and they had all the Little Debbie's out there by the front aisle where I was getting ready to check out, and they had their Mother's Day lemon. They're basically like the zebra cakes, but they're lemon flavored cakes, and I guess lemon icing on the inside. I started to get her some of those. She really likes lemon stuff. But Nutty Buddy has a new cake coming out looking like Twinkies. No, I had to go back hardcore starting this week because I kind of fell off the wagon on my diet for a while because every now and then I give myself a break and do whatever, and it was a lot longer break than I intended to have because now that I'm getting ready to go lay that floor, as I'm getting closer to that, I got to lose some weight because laying floor with the belly is no fun. Matt says she could have tried. The Nutty Bar cream pie thing reminded me of a moon pie. Yeah, it kind of had the chocolate. I like the regular cream pies, I think, better than the Nutty Buddy cream pies. That chocolate coating on the outside is kind of moon pie-ish. I will say that too, Jamie True. I felt like that too. It's like a weird textured chocolate on the outside. I mean, it wasn't bad. I'm not going to say it was gross or anything, but it wasn't as good as what I expected to be. I'd almost just regular have the regular peanut butter cream pie. My Pop Tart sure shrank recently. I haven't ate a Pop Tart in a long time. Moon pies are awful. Oatmeal cream pie, on the other hand, is the best. Plumman said that's Miss Maintenance's favorite. Kroger taking me back to Michigan. Yeah, that's pretty much the main store I go to for groceries. We've got Kroger, Meijer, and Walmart for the most part. And then I don't know if there's any more Save-A-Lots anymore. We used to have some Save-A-Lots, but I think they all kind of went out of business. But we've also got some priceless IGAs, but they're not really like a full-blown grocery store. They're just, some of them are pretty big and got just about anything, but then some of them are kind of like a mix of a grocery store, gas station type thing. I think we do have one that's pretty good size that has just about everything. And then we're supposed to be getting what is it called, a Publix or something like that. I think we're supposed to be getting one of those in my town pretty soon. Third pick, Giants take Abdul Carter. Yeah, because what pick is the Jaguars that they traded? Is it number 5 or number 6 or something like that? I bet the Browns think I bet the Browns take Shadur at number whatever they are. Barks. So it's a QS. Roy Phipps, moon pies hail from Chattanooga, not far from me. Can't remember the last time I craved a moon pie, but I'm heading to the Dollar General store as soon as this live ends for Nutty Buddies. I like regular Nutty Buddies; they're pretty good. Now the peanut butter crunch bars, those ones that I had in the tool haul a little while back, those were my jam whenever I was a kid. Like I ate those. Like I'd always eat the outside off and then eat the peanut butter section and all that kind of stuff. But I actually kind of like the Nutty Buddies now better than those. But I still like the the peanut butter cream pies better. Kroger owns Fred Meyer. Here it's Oregon, WA local. I can't find Susie Q's anywhere. I love them on ice cream. Justin Richards got him a TP XXL Special Ox ordered. Piggly Wiggly, baby. Yeah, we used to have some of those. I don't know if there's any more of them around here anymore, but we used to have those. There used to be one in up towards Louisville whenever I lived up there, but I think they used to have one kind of here too, but I think that was before I moved here. We still sell Barks red cream soda at Kroger. Oh, that's nice. I haven't seen it in a long, I mean, probably since I was in middle school is the last time I remember drinking a Barks red cream soda, but that's better than Big Red in my opinion. And I really like Big Red, but that's better. Now I know I'm one of the skinniest guys in the chat. Yeah, I don't eat Little Debbie's one at a time. I eat them a box at a time whenever I get a hold of them. So I try not to have them. Travis Hunter dodged a bullet. Yeah, probably so. I was curious to see if I thought maybe Cleveland might draft Travis Hunter and then go all out, trading a bunch more picks and try to get Shadur like later on if he dropped or whatever. I thought that might be what ended up happening, but I don't know. They might not have enough picks to be able to do it. I don't know. I didn't look to see like because a lot of teams up at the beginning they've already got rid of their picks a long time ago in other trades. Tech pack's just too bulky. I'm excited for both bags that are coming. Chris said having a banner week with Tate's Bake Shop chocolate chip cookies. I tell you what, we on our way to St. Louis, we stopped in at a Miss Maintenance might have to help me, or you guys might know. Is it a Circle C gas station or Circle K, something like that? We don't have them around here or whatever it was. We were in Indiana, about to get into Missouri, I guess. But they had like fresh baked cookies in there, just some gas station. But they were crazy good. Steve, what state are you in? I'm in Kentucky. Tate's cookies are amazing. Yeah, I don't know if I've had Tate's cookies. Our Kroger's locally got things called Christie's cookies. I think that's the name of them. They're pretty good. Like they sell them at the Kroger, but they like whoever that is does them at a baker or whatever, and I guess they supply the Krogers with them. But they're crazy good. Odd colored soda sounds like red number 6. Yeah, we probably won't be able to get any more of the Cardinal creams or the Barks red cream sodas. Our $1.25 tree has Barks. All I want is an In-N-Out burger joint. Yeah, we ate at In-N-Out whenever we went to, I guess whenever we went out west and went to Grand Canyon and all those places. And we were in Vegas. I think that's where, because we don't have any of those around me either. But we went to one. It was pretty good. Aldi's. We do have an Aldi's. Walmart and Kroger. We did have a mom and pop grocery store till last month. They retired. No one would buy them out, so they closed. Morgan, I got the MCTP this, and it holds everything for me. I think it's going to finally get me out of the Husky tote. Yeah, I've been busy working, so I ain't even had time to come out here and mess with trying to load it out. But I've got all the tools I need in my truck anyways, but I've been putting some tools in there playing around with it, but I haven't went crazy with it. Circle K. I was thinking it was a K. I couldn't remember if it was a K or a C. My tech pack must weigh 100 pounds. I'd say you can get it there. It's pretty, because compared to like if it's much bigger, which I was surprised by this one. It's not, but it's not super. The Tech Pack MC isn't crazy bigger than those, but it's still bigger. But I can imagine like if it's much bigger than this, that you'd be loading stuff in that. Which I did get my email from Veto that my second SPMC is on its way. So buying that through Acme and getting a discount on it. I talked about that in the last live. I was worried because after I saw on Veto's website that they said if you buy a bag at a discount, it's not eligible for the promotion. But Matt ended up calling them and they said it's basically if you buy a bag at a discount through them. So like if they got some kind of sale or they got some kind of refurbished bag or something like that, because they don't care what Acme sells it to you to. So it ended up going through and I'm getting that other bag. So TPXXL is solid. I'm running mine as a troubleshooting bag. I planned on it being my do most anything bag, but it got too cluttered, so I grabbed a Tech XL wheeler for that roll instead. Circle K, but Quick Trip blows them out of the water. Do you have Casey's Pizza there? Yeah, we actually just recently, like all our Minute Mark gas stations were bought out by Casey's. So now almost the majority of gas stations in my town now are Casey's. My wife bakes cookies. It's always better if they're made at home usually. Miss Maintenance says Circle K, so she pays more attention than me. I knew it was Circle something, but AM, PM goes crazy, but nothing beats Buc-ee's. Yeah, I've got a Buc-ee's right up the road from me. And it's running over all the time. Like, doesn't matter what time it is. If you go over there, it's crowded. Buc-ee's has tools too. I hadn't seen that, but I haven't looked around. I've only went to the food sections. They got pretty decent. I mean, there's nothing I've ate at Buc-ee's that's like, oh, it's mind-blowing type thing. They do have a sandwich that's got, I think it's got brisket, and then it's got sausage. It's basically their triple something sandwich. I can't remember what the other thing is that they put on it. It's got 3 different meats on it, but it's pretty good. But man, it's expensive. Like, it's expensive to eat there. $1.25 is owned by Dollar General now. And see, Dollar General is from, they're actually from close to where I'm at. They're out of Scottsville. As far as where they started at type thing. But they're everywhere around here. Dollar General stores, they're everywhere. Making it up more north now. Publix. You'll love the Publix subs. Yeah, that's what somebody told me. There's my son's mother-in-law is from Florida originally, and she likes the Publix stores, and she said their subs are really good. Red number 6, nothing a little cancer won't cure. Not in my area, isn't used to getting some specialty ones in glass bottles. Yeah, and that's another thing about the Fitz place, like crazy cheap. I think they're only like $1 a piece or something like that because they weren't very expensive whenever I was getting them. I expect them like for you to just be walking off the street and get a drink. I was like, I bet these are going to cost you like $3 a piece or something. Had the MCT, and now I can spread out a bit, which is nice. Patriots pick Will Campbell. Yeah, that's nothing exciting, which that's pretty much the spot they were put in. They were kind of hoping they'd get Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. Matt HMM just yells out sack. He likes to throw out the terms. Picked up the Klein glow-in-the-dark fish sticks. Finally, worth every penny. Didn't know what I was missing. Yeah, the Milwaukee ones are really good too. I bought the Milwaukee ones. I got them on sale on Home Depot one day a long time ago. I mean, I've had them for a long time, but they're pretty good. I don't know how dark I can make it out here. Let's see. See how dark this gets. Well, now my garage door light's gonna be on. See. So I don't know how well that'll show up on camera or not, but they glow pretty good. And these haven't even really been out in sunlight or anything like getting crazy. And I still got a little bit of light coming through the window, but overall they're pretty nice. It's not showing up on my screen yet, but it'll get there eventually on the delay. Let me turn my lights back on. And then I bought this light that screws into it too. And then you can just twist it and turn that on. It kind of gives you some more light if you're sticking it up into an attic or something, trying to fish over to grab something. It works out pretty good. But these have been pretty good. I think I've got the mid flex, and maybe I've got one of the stiff ones. But other than if you don't want the glow in the dark, which the glow in the dark are pretty nice, but if you don't want the glow in the dark, the Harbor Freight ones, like, it's worth going and buying those because you can get a ton of them for nothing. And then if you break them or lose one or whatever, it ain't a big deal. Kroger is my main store for Paycheck. Quick Trip is the largest privately owned gas station chain. What 2 bags did you buy? I don't know if you're asking me, Steve, but I bought the Tech MCTP. And then later on, I went ahead and bought, because I was back and forth between the MCP and that one. And then I just decided, I knew I was going to want this bag anyway, so I bought this one anyways because I knew I wanted it, because I've already been running the MCT and I love it, but I wanted the pouches on the side. But the only reason why I bought this one was because Acme had it on sale for, I ended up getting it for like $250, and I'm going to get that free SPMC with it. So I'll sell that and then take that off of this. I'll end up probably getting this bag for like $150 or something like that. So I went ahead and got one. That way I've got a backpack, and that's already a little bigger anyways. So the fact that it doesn't have the pouches on the side doesn't bother me on that one. I would have liked to still have the MCP, but I was afraid it was going to be too big. But you might have been asking Todd Turner. But just in case you were asking me, I was going to answer. Anyone running a Flex backpack? Your Lowe's ever get the red, white, and blue Klein tools out yet? No, I was actually in there today and looked, and they still don't have them. Because I was there picking up some stuff anyways. Fifth Browns take Mason Graham. Defensive tackle. Can't believe that they passed on Travis Hunter, though. If they wasn't going to draft, I thought, well, it made sense to me to trade out. If you wanted Shadur Sanders and you wanted a quarterback, it made sense to back out and get some other stuff with it. But that's kind of weird. Just came into the video and thought we were having a sleepover. It was so dark, but I could hear you talking. Yeah, I show my glow in the dark fish sticks. Killtronic said, I got 2 sets of BES fiber fish sticks I have had for 20 years. Never broke one. Lost a couple on walls. The only problem I have now is the threads are getting a little loose. We're buying the Klein Mod Box storage box and 2-drawer box just because they're orange and match the trim pieces on our Subaru Outback Wilderness. We use them for kitchen camping stuff. I like the Klein stuff that I haven't tried their organizers or anything like that, but the drawers and the rolling box I think are pretty good. Ran the MCT for 3 weeks. The two sides was kind of annoying at times. Yeah, I could see that. If you were like most of the time, anytime I'm running the bag that's got the two sides, I put the majority of the time I'm only getting that one side. But I could see that, like, because the other side's typically like my specialty stuff that I only get out every once in a while. But that's what I kind of like about this one is that I'm going to put, that's how I'm planning on using it. Like right now, I'm going to put like my vessel USB and then also Phillips and slotted screwdriver right there. And then probably like these, just needle nose. They're the electrical installation pliers. It's kind of my thought right now anyways. Just an all-in-round pair of pliers. I might even put a pair of Cobras in here. That way, I'm mostly just going to even just open up this and then put that, because I'm probably, in the big scheme of things, I don't think I'll load it out that way for a video. But the big scheme of things, I'm probably going to put tools in one side and my DJI camera and stuff, all my camera stuff on the other side. Fish sticks makes me chuckle every time. Browns could have had Hunter. Browns doing Brown things. Yeah, I was, like I said, it made sense to me. If they wanted a quarterback bad enough and they thought, well, we'd like Travis Hunter, but we can get something else and then still get Shadur at number 5 or whatever. But maybe they like one of the other quarterbacks better and they're going to get him in round 2 or something. I don't know. But I thought maybe they were going to trade. No, I thought maybe they would draft Travis Hunter and then try to move back up into the first round and get a quarterback. But I'm not a person who gets paid for my football analysis, so makes sense, I guess. Matt said that's the magic of the XXL. It's basically the 2 pouches on the side and only one place to open it at. Klein RWB was in top stock at Milo's, had them get them down. They were going to place them in the paint department. Yeah, it's crazy, like where they put stuff at mine too. It's like, why would you put Klein tools in the paint department? But that's liable to be where they put them at mine too. It wouldn't surprise me. That bag's gonna hold some big bucks in it. Raiders 6-pick Ashton Genty. I kind of thought that might happen. Somebody said they thought maybe that the Bears might trade up to get him, but today was my first day using the MB5B out in the field. You like it so far? I was kind of like so the MB5B is basically one side of the MC. It'd be basically like having this and this, but it's a little bit deeper, which was nice, except for I needed more tool storage is what wasn't working out for me. But it was the way that I was wanting to use that bag. Like I said, somebody else could get by if you were good at picking, these are the only tools I want, or if you're a specialized person and you do the same thing over and over again and you only use 10, 15 tools for the most part, then you can get by with it and it'd be a really good bag. But it just wasn't going to work out for me to be a swap from my MCT because I had 2 sides of tools and I couldn't convince myself which one I needed to cut. What's my next Veto going to be? Probably nothing until next spring promotion. We'll have to see what they come up with. Klein put stuff in plumbing just to confuse people. Browns could have also had Carter. I don't get it. I don't get why a defensive tackle will be a big help for Myles Garrett too. But at the same time, it's like they need so much help. I don't know what they got out of the trade. Maybe they got like some crazy good picks or something, but I can't imagine they got a whole awful lot because the Jaguars were just a few picks later. So it's not like they moved down a ton. My wife would be distressed if I bought another tool bag. Save a relationship, save it for next year. Yeah, start putting back $1 out of every paycheck. Get yourself a Veto bag next year. Matt said, I decided to cancel my MC backpack wheeler because I didn't need it that bad. Killtronic said, I just can't bring myself to buy a tool bag that I can't put my hands on until I order. Yeah, it's pretty hard. Like I said, for the most part, I've had enough of them now that I get like this one, I knew what it was going to be. It was going to be that bag with 2 pouches on the side. And I'm like, yes, I want that. Wouldn't have to see it. And the fact that it was the red and black, that was a no brainer. But I was back and forth. And that's the whole thing about the Tech Pack MCP or even like this Tech Pack MC. I was just back and forth because I couldn't picture how much bigger it was going to be than this bag because I didn't want one that was that much bigger than that. So I'm pretty pleased with the size of that Tech Pack MC for a backpack. It's not bad. But I didn't want something huge, but I couldn't see it in person. So, because there's really not a lot of people around me that run Veto bags. The only people around me that run Veto bags are the people who have been constantly working around me for like the last couple of years, and they've started buying Veto bags too, but nobody else really knows about them. Miss Maintenance said, I wasn't thrilled about 4 new bags rolling up into the Morgan house, but here we are. Where's the tools, the work, the PPE? Where are we? I don't recognize anything. Y'all talking handball? There's the thing. TPG said, I'm retired, so no more paychecks. Yeah. I don't see myself grabbing anymore unless they come out with a blackout version of the Tech XL Wheeler. I already have too many. Yeah, I'm going to go through. I still am back and forth if I want to sell my Tech MCT because it's actually it still looks really good, but it's used more than like my other ones are. I used it for a while. I'm going to keep my SBLD. I know I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to get rid of that because I can see myself going back to that. I don't know about the TPLD yet. I've never even used it yet. It's just been over here since last year because I pretty much bought it just to get the DP3 for free. But I've already sold my DP3. So I ended up getting that bag for like $40 or something like that. So I don't have to sell it for a lot to still break out even. But that's what I was going to say about my MCT. The condition it's in, it's like it's one of those things where, yeah, I could sell it for a little bit of money. But if I'm going to sell it for hardly nothing, I'd just as soon keep it. Plus, doing videos, like if I was somebody who wasn't doing videos, I probably would sell them no matter what. But like sometimes it's good to still have that bag, even if I'm not using it, just because if I get another bag and I can show y'all stuff comparing the two of them or whatever. Steve says he likes it, but he needs to work at it more. I now have 5 bags of being picky. If you take care of the Vetos, you can get a lot of your money back when you decide to sell. Yeah, for the most part, every one of them I've sold for very little less than what I paid for it. And typically every bag that I've got, I also got a free bag. That's why I said about this Tech Pack MC. I bought this for $250. It's normally like $319 or something like that, but I got it on sale for $250, and I'm getting the SPMC for free. So I know there's no chance whatsoever. Like if I decided I didn't like it whenever I got it, I can sell this and that SPMC and definitely make my $250 back. Like there won't be any problem with that. I might even make money, in the big scheme of things if I decided to do that. So that's why I went ahead and pulled the trigger on that one. I wouldn't have probably bought it, but because it was still spring promotion going on and it was on sale and I knew I wouldn't end up losing money no matter what, I went ahead and got one. First step is to admit you have a problem. And I don't have a problem, and I don't see a problem. Got to spend your money on something. It's either tool bags or Little Debbie's. Which one's better for me? That's what you got to ask yourself. That's what's going to happen. If I don't spend my money on tool bags, then I've got a lot more money to buy Little Debbie's with. And Miss Maintenance isn't going to like that either. So, 7th pick, the Jets take Aaron Rodgers. Armand Minbu. Better than drinking your money. Yeah, see, Yeah, that's like a lot of people. That's been a comment. Like I had it a few times on the channel, but then I've even got it in real life. It's like, man, you buy a lot of tools, you spend a lot of money on tools and whatever. It seems like whatever, but I don't spend my money on anything else. So it's like you can think I spend too much money on tools, but I guarantee there's something that you spend way more money than what I even spend on tools. That's not a necessary thing too, because I don't keep every tool that like you guys see all the time. Because sometimes I buy stuff just to try it, and if I don't like it, I sell it, or I give it to somebody, or I do whatever. But tools are just my thing. I don't collect anything else. I don't do anything else. I admit I have a problem. My problem is my wallet's empty. Got to keep the economy humming along. Yeah, see, I'm helping out. Just think of the people that at Veto, they would have had to lay somebody off probably this year if I didn't buy 4 bags. I'm helping feed somebody's family at Veto Pro Pack. And here I am with the Veto website up looking at the MCP. I was pretty close because the biggest thing that made me almost get it was because I was being impatient and the MCP came in stock before the MCTP did, because I had kind of already decided. I was back and forth, and if they'd have had both of those in stock March 1st when the promotion started, I would have bought an MCP. But after time of thinking about it, I'm like, I know myself. I know I'm going to want that bag. Even if I bought an MCP, I'm going to want that bag. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and get that one first and see if I like the size of it with those extra pouches, because the next bag, the MCP, is going to be bigger than that one. So then that way, if this one I felt was a little bit too big with those pouches, then I would know, hey, you're not going to like that MCP. So that's the whole reason why I went ahead. But I still held out, even though the MCP came in stock first. I still held out and got that one. I need 100%. There are a lot of ways to waste money. Tools may be excessive, but not a waste. Okay. Uncle Lasers level 0.000. Please, no more handball. I've got Miss Maintenance update me on the draft. Speaking of new tools, I spy an unopened Klein set over there on that mod box. Yeah, that's the Mac Berkson sent me that. It's the SDS. That one's going to be the one that stays in my garage. Actually, I might move the box into my truck, but I've already got the handle, and I bought the individual handle one because it was out before the mod box set was, and Mac Berkson sent me that one. So I told him that he said he bought some off Zorro and got two. He accidentally ordered too many, and then so he's nice enough to send me one. Trolls or toes and horse upkeep. 6 horses can cost a lot, but tools and horse upkeep. But the tools rank pretty close to it. The nail salon is a waste. Really, someone can't do their own nails. Yeah, but that nail salon, which Miss Maintenance doesn't go to one, but that's a trade off sometimes. Sometimes you got to let them go to the nail salon so you can get your tools. Infrared looks sharp. Yeah, I really like it. Like I said, if red's not your color, then it wouldn't be a thing for you. But as soon as I saw them, I was like, man, that's the bag for me right there. Dinner time. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get off here too. So glitch in the matrix. Yeah, I gotta find. I'll probably try that. I'll probably try, because the modem slash router that the company gave me is also a Wi-Fi router. So I might try unhooking my mesh system and just wire straight into that, and then see if I drop or not. And then that at least let me know this one out here is new. That'll let me know that it's my. I've got 3 different mesh boxes, one out here and 2 in the house. It'll be the one in my house. It'll be bad, and I'll have to replace that one. You need a new AA in that Klein clock. Nah, it keeps getting stuck on the glass. I got tired of messing with it. I took it apart one time and bent the second hand, but it's very flimsy. You got to be careful. Buying tools was my retail therapy during the winter when I'm not buying golf clubs. Timinator just got on here. I'm just getting ready to get off, buddy. You got on here right at the end. What do you use to clean your hand tools? John Walker asks. So, this is what I used for the longest time, probably like 10 years, maybe even longer, maybe 15 years. It's a lock lubricant, but it works really well. But this right here, you can get it some Lowe's, or you can get it on Amazon, and it's a little bit cheaper than this, and it's exactly the same, in my opinion. There could be some slight difference between them. I don't know what that is. They're made by the same company. One's just marketed more for lock lubricant. This one's more of a lubricant cleaner, but they smell exactly the same. They feel exactly the same. So far, they've been performing the same, but this one's like half the price, the super, super slick stuff. I've got a video that I put out not too long ago about what I now use to clean. I've got one originally, what I used to clean my tools back when I started the channel, which was this, but I've got a newer one that's what I now use, and it's this. Steve said, have a good evening. Intimidator said, better late than never. Be sure to run a speed test before you benchmark your current speed. Yeah, I would almost bet there's something wrong, because I actually thought that after everything around that box was bad, but that one was still coming on. But in my mind, I'm like, I can't believe it didn't hit that one out of all of them. But it must have it probably did something to it, but not enough to make it not work 100%. It's still coming on. But I've noticed my Wi-Fi just dropping in and out. But Miss Maintenance is in the house, so it's not necessarily my Wi-Fi box out here that's doing it, or the cable out here that's doing it. There's something, because she's in the house and hers has been doing it too. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, get inside. Appreciate y'all all being on here. Appreciate you, TPG, for being nice enough to give away a Veto DP3. Glad somebody was able to win that. But hopefully I'll see y'all. I've already got the Guess the Trade is filmed and uploaded. It is a Veto Tech Pack Blackout and then an SPMC. And the only reason why, because I knew some people might think to themselves, because I've got quite a long list on the Guess the Trades now. And the fact that an SPMC's in there, there's probably a lot of people wondering, well, how did somebody with an SPMC? I put in my Guess the Trade a long time ago, but this is a guy who put in his old bag months ago, and then he emailed me and said, hey, I just got new bags and I've changed my loadout. I was going to send you different pictures if that's all right. And I said, yeah, and I'll just go ahead and leave you in your spot. And when you send me the new pictures, I'll put you back into the rotation. So that's how an SPMC got into it, maybe a little bit earlier than what some other ones might. So, but I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Hope you guys stay safe. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you on the next one.